Good morning. Who was Amanda Miller?
Hello? Hello?
There's someone named Amanda Miller.
Good morning. I'm a foster care worker with Bethany Christian Services. I was joining to observe a hearing that I understood was taking place this morning for a Supreme Pierce.
Okay. You can't observe from the virtual courtroom. You have to go on to our YouTube page. And you can observe from there. We're live streaming, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Alicia Marie Warren, file number 22-00132 SM, council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Andrea Lacey appearing on behalf of the people. Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Alicia Warren, who is standing to my right.
Okay, and I also have file number 22-01505. Today's the date that was set for final pretrial in both matters. I do see a Maui for one file. That's file number 22-01505 FY. That one's going to be Maui.
Only after successful plea in case number 22-00132.
Okay, so there's going to be a plea.
Yes.
Do I have a plea sheet and an advice of rights? Okay. Off the record. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Supreme Elijah Pierce. File number is 21-02650. Council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Andrea Lacey appearing on behalf of the people. And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of Mr. Supreme Pierce, who is standing to my right.
Thank you. How are you, Mr. Pierce? Today was the date that was set for a final pretrial. My understanding is that the people are unable to proceed as the necessary witnesses have not appeared. So the case will be dismissed today without prejudice. That simply means that if the necessary witnesses later appear and they're ready to proceed, the people do have the right to reissue the charge against you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Also, the people are objecting to destruction of the arrest record and removal of any entry from the above reference record from your lien at this time, okay?
What does that mean?
That means that you're typically when this, and you have a nollie or arrest record could be removed from the law enforcement network, but information network, but at this time, the people are objecting to that so that it will remain in the system at this time, okay?
So it's still gonna be on my record.
The arrest record will still show up.
Okay,
There's no conviction because you've not been convicted.
okay.
The charge will be dismissed, and you can ask your attorney any questions as it relates to the arrest record remaining on your lien for now, okay?
Okay.
We'll get you a copy of this dismissal. Do you have any other questions, sir?
No, that's all.
Okay, as to any no contact order, it'll take us about 72 hours to remove that information from the system. So if you had a requirement not to be within 1,500 feet of, or make contact with someone, not make contact with someone, you want to make sure you give us sufficient time to get that out before you are within that zone, okay?
Okay, thank you.
We're off the record in that matter.
Yes.
We're
Oh,
on the
no, I don't
record
need one.
in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Stanley Hayes, file number 22-00286 SD. Council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Andrea Lacey appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brendan Basigo with on behalf of Mr. Stanley Hayes. We are both appearing by Zoom. Waived our in-person appearance.
Thank you. Today was a date that was set for a final pre-trial. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor,
Thank you, Your
I
Honor.
understand that it's going to be a plea today.
Okay, place the offer on the record.
Yes, Your Honor, the offer is for Mr. Hayes to plead guilty to an added count 2 of operating impaired in violation of MCL 257.6253. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days and for $300 and 360 hours of community service. The people would also agree to Killebrew to no upfront jail and dismiss the original count 1.
Mr. Basiga.
Thank you, Your Honor. That is a complete and accurate statement of the plea offer.
Okay, and Mr. Hayes, how are you today?
I'm not so bad. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. The offer stated by the people were that they were going to amend to an added count 2 of impaired driving that you wanted to plead guilty to. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Okay, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down, sir. Mr. Hayes, you have the right to be represented by counsel. You're represented by Mr. Basiga. You have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter, and you have the right to have a jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to remain silent and not have silence be used to prove or implicate your guilt. You have the right to be presumed innocent at trial until proven guilty. You have the right to have the prosecution bring sufficient evidence to prove each element of the charges being brought against you, and they have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to question any witness that they call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence that you believe would further a defense to the charge. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
In order for you to plead guilty, you would have to give up each of those rights today. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Is anybody threatening you to get you to waive your rights and plead guilty?
No.
Has anybody made any promises to you to make you waive your rights and plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you are guilty?
Yes.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No.
There's a Killebrew agreement. That's an agreement about your sentencing, and that agreement is between you and the prosecution. The court is not a party to that. So if at the time of your sentencing, if I decide that I'm going to deviate from that and sentence you to a term of jail time, I would then give you the opportunity to withdraw your plea. Okay, sir?
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions at this time?
No.
Okay. As to the added count 2 of impaired driving, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
I have a factual basis.
Thank you, Your Honor. If I may inquire of my client.
You may.
You are Mr. Stanley Hayes, is that correct?
Yes.
Did this occur on Sunday, October 3rd, 2021?
Yes.
Were you driving a motor vehicle at that time?
Yes.
Were you driving on Michigan Avenue in the city of Lansing, County of Hingham, state of Michigan?
Yes.
Prior to getting into your car, did you consume alcohol?
Yes.
What was that alcohol?
Cola and whiskey.
Okay. And finally, do you believe that you would have driven better had you not consumed that alcohol?
Yes.
Your Honor, I believe that's a sufficient factual basis for the impaired count.
Any questions from the prosecution?
Just briefly, Your Honor, Mr. Hayes, would you agree that your ability to drive was visually impaired because of the alcohol that you consumed previously that night?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. The court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea and find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. This matter will be set for sentencing on September 13th, 2022 at 8:30 in the morning. Prior to sentencing, Mr. Hayes, you need to meet with probation so they can provide the court with a pre-sentence report and recommendation, okay?
Okay.
You need to appear at the probation department in person within the next 48 hours, okay?
48 hours.
Yeah, 2 days.
Where is that located?
It's the same building as the court, but they're on the 5th floor.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I don't know that if you've already undergone a substance abuse assessment, but you will be required to undergo one. Mr. Basiga, if he has already undergone one, that can be provided to the probation department.
Undergo what?
Mr. Hayes, I'll explain that to you after we get done here. Your Honor, I will make arrangements for that and so provide that to the probation department and the court.
All right.
Okay, any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor.
Nothing from me. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set for today, Mr. Hayes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Okay, we're back on the record in the matter of, or the matters of Alicia Warren. Excuse me.
Are we?
I have here. Mr. Hayes, you're free to go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I have here. Denali, is there a patient? Okay, so the offer from the people, Ms. Warren, is for you to plead guilty to count 1, no objection to sentencing under MCL 769.4A, and that the people will dismiss count 2. This is in file number 22-00132. There's a killer brew of no upfront jail, and you are to continue to comply with all CPS and family court orders and services. In exchange for that, they will also be dismissing the matters in file number 22-01505. Is that what your plea offer is? Okay, and how are you today? Oh, I'm sorry? Okay, great. Well, I have a plea, advice of rights and plea information sheet with today's date on it. There's a signature at the bottom. Is that your signature? Did you read this document? Do you understand all the rights that are listed here? Do you have any questions about these rights? Okay, so you have the right to be represented by counsel. You are represented by the Office of the Public Defender by way of Ms. Donnelly. You have the right to proceed to trial in these matters, and you have the right to have jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecution meet their burden, which is to bring sufficient evidence to prove each element of the charges being brought against you. You have the right to question any witness that they call at trial, and you have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence at trial that you believe would further defense to the charge. In order to plead guilty, you have to give up all of those rights today. Do you understand that? Yes. And you want to give those rights up today? Yes. Is anybody making any promises to you to get you to waive your rights and plead guilty? No. Has there been any threats made to you to get you to plead guilty today? No. Okay, I couldn't hear you because it was a little loud. No. Thank you. Are you pleading guilty because you believe you're guilty? Yes. Are you currently on probation or parole? No. You understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that you may need to report to your current employer? Yes. Understand that a guilty plea can result in a conviction that may impact any immigration status that you may be seeking.
Yes.
Okay. As to file number 22-00132. Count one of domestic violence, how do you plead? There's also a killable agreement in this matter, so I will advise you that if at the time of sentencing, I'm going to deviate from that agreement, I will give you the opportunity to withdraw your plea, okay? Okay, factual basis, please.
Thank you. Alicia, on January 12th of this year, 2022, were you at 2840 East Saginaw Street in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan?
I don't know the subway's address, but yes.
You were at okay, you believe, you have no reason to dispute that that subway was located at that
Yeah,
address
right.
in Saginaw?
Yes.
Okay. And while you were there, did you get into an argument with your ex-husband, Mr. Forrest Warren?
Yes.
All right, and at that time, did you grab the earphones or earbuds that were in his ear? Grab them from his thing and pull them and yank them from his ears?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Any questions, Ms. Lacy?
Just briefly, Ms. Warren, you did not have permission to take anything off Mr. Warren's person at the time, is that correct? Okay. No further questions, Your Honor, I believe that's sufficient.
I'm satisfied with the factual basis, and I'm going to accept your plea. Find your plea to be made free voluntarily and intelligently. This matter is set for sentencing on September 6, 2022 at 8:30 in the morning.
I understand.
I want it out there.
Just let me know.
Yeah, I'll note that also. On the file.
Okay.
Prior to sentencing, you're gonna need to meet with probation, so you may as well, when you leave here today, go down to the 5th floor and meet with them so they can schedule your pre-sentence interview, okay? Do you have any questions for the court today?
No.
Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the people.
None for defense, thank you.
Thank you, and the other matters will be dismissed. We'll get you a copy of this knowledge. Are you representing Mr. Maywood?
Yes.
Okay, would you need to speak to him?
No, I don't. I'm ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Mr. Maylow? Matthew Madlow, are you there?
Hello?
Okay, just making sure you can hear me.
I am here.
You're on the record in the matter, the people of the state of Michigan versus Matthew Madlow, file number 21-00906 SM. Council appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of defendant Matthew Madlow, who's appearing by.
Thank you. How are you, Mr. Madlow?
I'm good.
Okay, today's the date that was set for sentencing. I have a pre-sentence report dated July 7, 2022. Did you get a copy of that, Ms. Donnelly?
I have, and I've had a chance to review it with Mr. Madlow. At this time, we don't need any corrections.
Okay. We can proceed with allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. As you can tell from because the police reports included the pre-sentencing report, this is from an incident when Mr. Madlow was taken to Sparrow. It was Mr. Madlow has in recent years had to adapt to a mental health diagnosis. He was hospitalized and diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder back at the end of 2017. Unfortunately, Mr. Madlow thought he didn't, well, he just had trouble taking his medication. He actually reports that he just, once he was released, he didn't take them. He did get in trouble. He understands that he, when he got in trouble, that he, when he stopped taking it, he takes his medication, he's better. When he doesn't take his medication, he's not better. So after this most recent incident, Your Honor, he has been able to stay on his medications without a deviation. He told me he appreciates the stark contrast he sees when he is on his medication as opposed to when he isn't. So since that time, he's been able to connect with community mental health. He just recently started seeing his therapist for the first time. He has a psychiatrist, a caseworker. He's currently living with his parents. He is from the area. He says that they're a big support for him. And so he is working on family issues. He's trying to also work with community mental health, obviously, in a lot of ways. They're helping him get connected to assistance. He's got Medicaid, but he applying for food assistance. He's looking to actually work at community mental health. That's and find a job there. Otherwise, he is a full-time MSU student. He has 4 semesters left in a biosystems engineering degree, with an emphasis in biomedical engineering. He also has 2 minors, but what he wants to do is work with the biosensors for like chronic illnesses like diabetes and things like that. Otherwise, his hobby is he likes to make mobile apps in his spare time, Your Honor. So with that, we would just want the court to consider those things when sentencing him. Thank you.
Okay, I reviewed the pre-sentence report and the recommendation as well as Mr. Maylow's prior criminal history. I mean, I recognize this is an issue that resulted from his failure to comply with his outpatient treatment plan. And based on his prior criminal history, I'm inclined to believe that this is not the first time he's failed to comply, which is why the recommendation for a probationary period would be appropriate. If he's going to experience long-term success, he's going to need to be compliant and stay on his medication. The recommendation is for Mr. Maylow to continue with the services that he's been receiving at community mental health. He reported seeing a case manager monthly, as well as a psychiatrist. And so he needs to make sure he continues to attend his regular mental health counseling and submit to some random testing for alcohol and drugs. So I'm gonna adopt the recommendation of probation. I'm going to impose a sentence of 90 days Ingham County Jail, credit for 1 day. I'll suspend the balance of 89 days upon successful completion of 6 months probation. While on probation, there's a $30 per month oversight fee, Mr. Maylow, that you are responsible for, okay?
Okay,
You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. You're not to use, purchase, or possess drugs or alcohol unless you have a valid prescription. You're going to be required to submit to random preliminary breath test and or urinalysis. You are responsible for the cost of that, okay?
okay,
You're not to be at any bars or nightclubs while on probation. Do you have any questions about that at this time?
nope,
I'm going to order that you continue your mental health services. And that you remain compliant with your outpatient treatment plan. Okay, because you're in school, I'm not gonna order that you obtain employment at this time. Do you have any questions about the terms of probation?
nope,
As to fines and costs, there's a $75 crime victim rights, right, a statute that I must assess, as well as the state minimum cost also, per statute must be assessed. There is a $30 per month oversight fee for 6 months, so that'll amount to $180. I'll waive any discretionary fines and costs. Your total fines and costs at this time will be $305. You'll be able to make monthly payments on that, okay?
okay,
There's an advice of rights here. It says that you have been sentenced to a term of probation in the 54A District Court. The probation conditions have been individually tailored and are specific to address your assessed risks and needs. Except for domestic violence, criminal sex crime, and stalking offenses, or an offense where the defense of guilty but mentally ill was asserted, you may be eligible for early discharge from probation. You have the following rights. You have the right to request early discharge from probation once you have completed half the original probation term ordered by the judge. You may request an early discharge from probation after meeting the following conditions. A, you have completed all required probation programming, and B, you have not violated probation within the 90 days preceding your request. If a hearing is scheduled, you have the right to retain or hire an attorney to represent you. You do not have the right to court-appointed counsel if a hearing is scheduled to address your request for early discharge from probation. Lastly, you may make your request for early discharge by completing a notice regarding eligibility for early discharge from probation, which is also called the MC 512 form. That form is located on the court's website, okay?
okay,
Do you have any questions at this time, sir?
nope,
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, you're all set, sir.
okay, how do I, who do I report to for probation?
Probation will contact you with your assigned probation officer, okay? And they'll also go over the order that I just put on the record.
Okay,
All right, thank you, sir.
yeah, bye.
Bye. Ashley. Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ashley Simpson. File number is 22-00551. Ms. Simpson, how are you today? You're muted, ma'am.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Today was the date set for a show cause, and that's because you were here on June 21st. And you said that you would pay or start making payments on the fines that you owe by June 24th. And you've not received payments, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you. What's your plan with these payments, ma'am?
I set up a payment arrangement for the $350 for every 2 weeks. I can't pay him no faster because I'm trying to pay him as fast as I can. On the other ticket, I only owe $60 on that. And I can pay that today I can pay that now over the phone.
She has another ticket. Seatbelt ticket, that's what how much you owe.
There's a seatbelt ticket.
67. Is that the show cause in there? Okay, it says you owe $67 on that. Okay, so you say you'll pay that today?
Yes, ma'am, I can pay that now with a
And then
debit card.
when are you gonna pay this? Because it says you owe $327.
I can pay $75 on that Friday.
Okay, and then when will you make the next payment?
On the 1st, because I do get a first check
Okay,
and I want to be done with it.
okay, I'll note that in the file. So as long as you are compliant with that, you won't get another show cause, okay?
Thank God. I just want to pay it so you don't have to see me no more.
Okay, I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to see you, I mean, but not under these circumstances, okay?
Okay.
All right, you have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you, you too.
All right.
Hi, I'm Joshua Robert Newton. Yes.
That sounds like a shady ass.
Yeah, you're not gonna take that, but she's getting an extension. So it's 30 days to investigate.
He ain't cooperating, that's the thing.
Or
Martell said
All right, Joshua, we got a court date August 30th at 10 a.m. You're gonna get that notice to appear in the mail, okay?
Yep.
All right, then we're good to go for today. Thank you.
Bye. Hello.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Which matter are you here for?
This is the interpreter for Eduardo Domingo Alejo.
Okay, thank you.
All the way down to all that. Yeah, he did. I don't know about now. Now he's. He's always had really gorgeous black hair, wavy hair. My sister inherited that picture. And it curls and stuff. Yeah, and he's like a right biker. Like he's got this gray hair, but it's always longer. Yeah, my grandpa looks like Jerry Lewis, and then my grandmother is like German, and my but my and he was like, "Wait, I don't know which one you are." He said, and you're like, no, but every time. What? And our I swear. First station. He said, then there's some there, just don't.
Okay, well. Kennedy Blevins.
Yeah, Your Honor, I did communicate with Ms. Blevins yesterday, but I don't know where she is. I'm gonna try calling her. in a message.
Oh. Sama. Also, I think in the period. Thanks for. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Vincent Flores.
Can you speak up?
Vincent Flores.
Okay, give us just a moment. We're gonna put you in a meeting room with your attorney.
Okay.
Hi. Nice to meet you. Oh, sorry. Oh, Mr. Hilliard, I don't represent him. I don't represent Jerry Hilliard. He declined. He's just here to talk.
One of the files that has church on it.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I don't know how that happened. I had our office look into it, but it, I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Hilliard, did you request court appointed counsel?
You have to speak a little louder so you can't hear you.
Did you request an attorney?
Oh, very good. Does he have a dog license to show me?
No, it's kind of seriously to show me I had to do some.
Or just. Okay.
I don't have this.
I don't know if I have one.
They both have chips.
Mr. Flores, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you dismissing those?
No, so it's a dog at large. Keisha, do you have the ticket by chance? I don't have it.
Oh, wait. Okay, she has to talk to him, so let me handle Flores, because it sounds like he needs a new date, is that correct? Flores?
I think that.
Yes, Your Honor, I don't have the discovery at this time, so I'll figure out what's going on with that, and if we can get adjourned to the next available date. It's my understanding at that point, Mr. Flores will probably be released, so.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Flores, we're gonna reset your matter till August 2nd at 10:30. My understanding is that you will no longer be in custody, so you can appear via Zoom, okay?
Okay,
If you don't have the ability to appear via Zoom, you can come in person as well,
okay.
but you're free to go for today,
And what time do I appear on the 2nd?
August 2nd at 10:30.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
It is dog at large. That means the dog left the property. Yeah, so, we don't.
I'm free to go?
think we- when I was born, have you done anything?
Yep, you're free to go, Mr. Flores.
Okay.
All right,
What do
thank
you
you. Have a nice.
Okay. Okay, and you haven't had any issues with them? No.
On the gate, we fixed the latch.
So that they can't push that open either? Okay, all right. Okay, I'll dismiss it this time, but if it comes back again, we'll have a little bit more of an issue, but I'm gonna get rid of it.
probably did. So I don't- Yeah. Yeah, but he could have the gate. Okay.
I can't go.
Yeah. Okay, all right, thank you. We need to wait. Yeah, Judge, I am gonna dismiss both.
Oh.
Again, so I don't think they need
You'll be
anything.
dismissed. You're all set.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last time, I guess I'll wait. I'm not sure I got your name, the person identified as an interpreter.
Hi, this is Pablo Bello.
Okay, Eduardo Domingo Alejo has failed to appear, so you're free to go today, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.